Now, over a decade back, if you wanted something that was the epitome of luxury on 4 big wheels along with 7 seats, it had to be the Q7. Personalities from all industries, from Bollywood to politics, they had to have the Q7 in their garage. Be it black or white, it had to be the Q7. By the way, black and white, I mean the color options, nothing else. But over the years, competition caught up. You had options from a lot of manufacturers: Mercedes, BMW, Volvo, Range Rover, and so on. However, Audi India, they want to start the year 2022 with a bang, and the bang here is the new Q7. Now, this one, the Q7 was taken off the markets when the BS6 emission norms came into play a few months back, but now it is all ready for another innings in the Indian market. Remember, no more diesels from Audi for any of the models in India post the BS6 norms. This one also has a petrol engine. It's a 3000cc V6 motor. As compared to the earlier model, the Q7 that was on sale in India, few changes on the outside, a lot of changes on the inside, and of course, the new engine, which is very important. It is the USP for the vehicle. So in this video, is going to be a detailed video. I will try to find out if this new model can replicate the success of the older Q7 or not. The answer lies in the end. And also, guys, you can have a chance to win a few goodies from our end because our annual auto awards are just around the corner. Now, first things first is the heart of the matter here. Rivals like the X7 from BMW and the GLS from Mercedes, they do have a diesel engine option, but unfortunately for BS6, no more diesels from Audi. Nevertheless, it is good news, at least on paper. This is a 3000cc V6 motor, the same size as a petrol X7 or the petrol GLS, but this one has 340 bhp of power, which is more than the BMW offering, and 500 Nm of torque, which is same as the Mercedes-Benz offering. Of course, Quattro 4x4 and a torque converter automatic is standard, and this is how and where I will start my review by driving the Q7. First thing that will strike you when you drive the Q7 is how quiet the cabin is. I mean, with all that performance on tap, all those horses on tap, it doesn't get too vocal. It will go fast, it's super quick for the segment, but it will not create any drama. It will not get too loud to tell you that yes, I'm going fast. How fast, how quick is it? Well, for starters, let the video showcase the numbers we got on an isolated empty piece of road. I did a couple of runs to 150, and this is what the Q7 registered on our GPS app. It's not as per the speedometer, it's as per the actual speeds, the actual GPS speeds coming up on your screen right away. So we are in the new 2022 Audi Q7 petrol. This comes with a 3000cc V6 engine belting out 340 horses and 500 Nm of torque. How quick is this? Well, let's go. I'm in the S or the sport mode. 3, 2, 1, launch! 60 already. This thing, wow, fast for an SUV. So, second run. This is still the same, 6.7 seconds to 100 and 3.13 to 60. I think super quick for a heavy 7-seater luxury SUV. Wow. Yeah, 6.7 seconds is super quick for the segment, but even apart from flat out acceleration, with all that torque coming in with the magic of TSFI, you have ample torque in the lower end of the RPM zone. Most Audis, their gearbox, they tend to upshift very early for fuel economy. I'm at 70 right now in the D drive mode. I'm in the 8th gear at 1000 RPM, and yet when I want to gain momentum, because there is so much torque available in the low rev, I have it. Of course, this is not a DSG setup, it's a normal torque converter, so it's not lightning quick, but reliability is there. And for the typical Indian summers where everything under the hood, it boils up, this is going to be a reliable setup. You have paddle shifters to take care of your needs when you want to go very quick, you want to have control over the car. You can also flick the gear lever to the left and take control. You can even go down into the S or the sport mode to have your gears holding up to a high RPM. So for me, I think the Q7 definitely has a sporty side to it because of the engine manners. But does the suspension live up to the sportiness in case you do want to hit a couple of corners at a faster pace, you want to attack the upcoming curve? I would say it is a bag of misbeans, and this was expected. Now, it's a full-size 7-seater SUV, and expecting it to, change lanes like this, 3, 2, 1. This will not be right for it to do, but yeah, it manages to do that pretty nicely for the weight. The tires, however, they give up very, very fast. If you do go fast around a roundabout or a corner, you can hear them giving up. So I think tires could have been better. Dynamically, it's not the best around, but yeah, I think for most users, for most owners, or for most chauffeur-driven people who are looking at being at the back seat, no reasons to complain. What is super good is that the 19-inch alloy wheels, I thought they would rob the Q7 of a good ride quality. That is not the case. The ride quality in the normal comfort mode is superb. Potholes, undulation, cement joints, whatever you want to throw at the Q7, it simply swallows them up very well. You have drive modes. You can be in the auto or the comfort or the dynamic. In the dynamic, the car will go down, the gears will hold at a higher RPM. In the efficiency mode, everything will be geared towards efficiency. So yes, your drive modes are very much there, but in the normal auto mode, I am more than happy since morning from the ride quality point of view. Dynamics, yes, but performance, definitely. Next, I really want to talk about is how easy it is to drive this 7-seater SUV. It is not a small vehicle by any standard. It is long, it is wide, but thanks to your wide mirrors, thanks to a good visibility, thanks to a 360-degree setup over here, you don't feel nervous if you're gonna be upgrading from a sedan or a small SUV. Trust me, this car will not make you feel nervous, and this is the beauty about the Q7. You want to take control over the driver's seat on weekends with your kids or your better half or your girlfriend. Why not? Let the driver handle the driving things on weekdays. On weekends, this can be your companion. It can be something that you will look forward to every Sunday. Now, further making your life simpler are a few things that you can use on a daily basis. You do have auto park assist. Yes, take your hands off the steering wheel. The sensors will sense for the parking space and the car will go in there. Then you have the lane assist feature. If the sensors, they know there are marked lines on either ends, you can lift your hands for a few seconds, or the car will basically keep you inside the lane. So these things are definitely there. But one thing which is missing at this price point, and it's a bit of a surprise for me, is that you do not have cooled seats up front in the Q7. Yes, I think cars costing 1/4 in India now offer you ventilated seats, but this is something which is missing in the Q7. I am not able to find that, and this is a bit of a bummer. So is there a downside to this petrol motor? Well, frankly, apart from fuel economy, I couldn't find any other reason for a complaint in this Q7. It's smooth, it's potent, it goes very fast, it can munch up miles rapidly. And in terms of fuel economy on open roads, if you're holding around 90-100, it will give you around 11 kmpl. But inside town with 340 horses under the hood and traffic for company, the same figure will drop to approximately 7 to 8. Again, which is decent by all standards, but just in case you come from a diesel SUV background, these are the figures you'll have to live with this powerful petrol Q7. Right then, with the performance and the engine done, it is time for me to introduce you to the interiors of the Q7. Definitely a highlight in my books. As compared to the earlier model which was sold in India before the BS6 norms came into play, this one, the interiors, they are a huge departure, and definitely they look nice for a car that will be approximately 1 crore rupees on road daily. A lot of highlights over here. For example, you have 3 screens. First is the Audi virtual cockpit over here. I have been a big fan of the way it looks like. Second screen is right over here in front of your gear lever, and you basically control your climate control functions from this one. And the third screen is for the main MMI interface, the multimedia interface. A lot of things you can see and control of the car, from your navigation to your media to your radio to your phone, and even getting to know the current tilt functions of the car. We are on a straight road, so there is no tilt angle at all. So yeah, first highlight for me are the 3 screens right over here. Second is the new horizontal layout for the AC vents and the central fascia. This is glossy black finish. It is a dirt magnet for the Indian conditions, but in my books, I think these small things, they lend a touch of premiumness, a touch of classiness to the interiors of the Q7. There are going to be 2 different versions on sale. We are in the top end version, and as of now, there is no clarity on the features that will be in the lower version and what will be in the higher version. But yes, what I can tell you is it is gonna be feature loaded for the segment, for the rivals. You won't feel short charge for the kind of money you're gonna be paying to Audi. So apart from the layout and the features, the seat needs a special mention. For my kind of frame, 6 feet tall, well built, I think the seats are very comfortable. Of course, both the front seats, they are powered, but at the same time, you don't get power adjustment for the steering wheel adjustments. It's still manual from here, so this is something missing in the new Q7. But apart from that, I would say the front seats, from a driver's perspective, from an owner's perspective, I would give 9.5 out of 10. This, by the way, is something that Audi calls as the phone box. You have your wireless charging coming in over here. It's not very deep for your knickknacks, but for your wireless charging, it does the job very well. Now this is simply impressive. With the front seat position for a 6 feet tall person, you have so much space at the back with one more 6 feet tall person sitting. So I think in your family, if the ones driving the car, they are shorter than me, or your driver is shorter than me, you will have even more space at the back. Simply superb. At the same time, in spite of the sunroof, I think even the headroom is pretty good. Like the front setup, you also have your touch controls for the AC coming in over here, and you have 3 charging outlets below that. Cleverly, the AC vents are positioned at a couple of places over here behind the front armrest and on the pillar as well. So I think the AC efficiency for the Indian summer has been taken care of by Audi. The seat comfort, like the front one, I haven't spent too much time over here, but in the last few minutes, it definitely feels good enough. However, I'll reserve my judgment for a longer duration on the back seat in the Q7, which might happen at a later stage. You do have these lovely blinds coming in over here, useful for the Indian heat and the Indian sun. And apart from this, I think you do have a very airy feel at the back. You don't feel claustrophobic. So for 4 hatte-cutte, well-fed adults, that's a good place to be. Not for the 5th one, because the central transmission tunnel, it's pretty high, and this will definitely intrude into the privacy of the 5th person sitting in over here. Now this one is a 3-row SUV. You have seats at the back for kids. I will not be going in over there, but I will definitely show you the amount of space that is at the back. This one, in the meantime, can be positioned to give extra room for people who are at the back like this. You can slide this ahead, or you can recline this for your longer durations. Right then, so I told you I'll not be getting into the last row of the Q7, but I managed to convince Julian to go there. Julian, what is your height?
I'm 5'8".
So for a person who's 5'8", you can see the knees are touching the back, and this after I have pushed the 2nd row ahead. So we have compromised the legroom for the 2nd row to ensure that Julian could sit here. So in your family, if you have people who are 5'8", or if you have tall kids, this is the case for the last row. So as expected, the last row is best for kids, not for adults, and the 2nd row is fabulous. So if you're going to be using it as a 5-seater, the 2nd row is lovely in terms of your space. And of course, the front row, it got 9.5 out of 10 in my books. And surprise, even with the 3rd row in place, the amount of space in the boot is really good. You can have a look over here. I think you can fit in at least 3-4 night strollers, or a couple of night strollers and a big suitcase. For now, we have a camera bag right over here and ample space. So The boot space is nice, the third row is best for kids, the second row is fabulous, and for me it has to be the driver's seat. Now size and design, these are two very important elements for any SUV of any segment, and the Q7, the earlier Q7, the original Q7 delivered on this account in a very good manner. It was huge, it was bulky, it was muscular, and the first view of that Q7 in your rear view mirror used to make you give space for the car on the road. It was that imposing. This one, of course, over the years the Q7 has toned down. It's like going to the gym every few years. It's become sharper, it's become modern, it still looks striking, and of course the magic here are the Matrix LED headlamps from Audi. They simply look wow. In my books, this is the best setup for this segment. The alloy wheels are huge. You have 19-inch alloy wheels on the Q7, but I think these could have been on the sportier side. They are huge, they wear the right kind of size, but because the Q7 is so much more sportier now from the engine point of view, these could have been better, possibly diamond cut or possibly finished in black. But nevertheless, I think if you want to announce your arrival in a very flashy manner, the Q7 will still do it. As compared to the model, it replaces the model that was on sale before the BS6 norms came into play. A lot of changes have been done. The new grille, the new bumper, the new fog lamp housing, but the overall silhouette of the car remains same and nice. And this brings us to the end of this video around the Q7. Now, I think for a prospective customer, this one ticks all the right boxes. The design, yes. The cabin, definitely yes. The features, the comfort levels, the potent engine, the dynamics, the quattro setup, the driver's feel, the passenger feel, I think everything is sorted in the new Q7. As of now, we do know everything about the SUV apart from the pricing, which should be out very soon. But there is one thing which is missing in the Q7, and I think for this segment, diesel engines sometimes they matter a lot because the gush of torque coming in is simply unparalleled from a diesel motor, and this is something the rivals do offer you. Of course, for markets like Delhi NCR, where you have a ban on diesel cars older than 10 years, people will prefer to buy the petrol Q7. But in case you are a diesel lover, in case you want a diesel full-size luxury 7-seater SUV, you might have to look elsewhere. But for all other kind of people, my original question, can this one replicate the success of the Q7, which has always been the case? Well, definitely.